that ball.
Rambo Radio with your host, Genty.
Fuck, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, fucking Jen is a warlord.
I'm fucking coming for you.
Now I feel poo coming out of my bum. So it's a lot right now. Yeah, it's a lot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rambo Radio. I'm your host, Genty. Twitter and Instagram at Genty523, but nobody cares. It's all about YouTube, Genty TV. Let's go. Oh my gosh, friends. Man. Well, you know, when shit hits the fan, and you gotta be in three places at one time, and the wind, hurricane-like winds, man, it was just, the inevitable was bound to happen. I made a mistake. So, we're gonna get right into the mess, the filth. God damn, man. Making mistakes are hard because you don't want to make them. You make mistakes, and you're like, fuck. Especially when you make a mistake and somebody gets hurt. Full. Alright, let's turn this thing off. Oh, friends. So, man, this weekend was definitely the winds of change, and maybe not for the better. Damn it. You know, it's one of these things in jiu-jitsu. Your ego is not your amigo. And I happened to be rolling with my friend, and I got her in a leg lock, and, you know, I got my friend in a leg lock, and she's pretty tough. I'm tough. We're tough. There's a lot of toughness going on. And I had this leg lock, and she's very flexible, and I had it, and I didn't want to let go, and I was like, okay, I got her. She's not tapping. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, so I need to apply more pressure. And by the time I realized it was too late, it popped. Her ankle popped. And, of course, the split second right before her ankle popped, I got the signal sent to my brain. My brain was trying to send a signal to my hands like, let go. It's good. You've had this for more than 3 seconds. Let go. But by the time I let go, it popped. And I was like, fuck. Oh, shit. Fuck. I feel so bad because, you know, she's in tears. And I'm just like, man, this sucks. This is the worst part of jiu-jitsu. It's like knowing when to put the brakes on and when to keep going. And, man, by the time my hands received the signal from my brain, I literally felt my brain tell my hands, let go. And then it went pop. I went, damn it. It sucks. She's saying, you know, that she's flexible and that it happens. She should have tapped. And I'm like, fuck. But, you know, it's like, I should have let go. 3 seconds? That's good enough. You know, she was already on her back in a bad spot. I should have, I think about, I should have had the brain cells to be like, hey, we're good here. You don't have to finish. We're good here. You know, but just the heat of the moment. And it feels so bad, you know. And so, it's terrible. But the day prior to that, I did the exact same move on one of my teammates who is just... this guy. Oh, man, he's just... I don't know how to describe his demeanor. He's extremely good at wrestling, but he's not good at jiu-jitsu, like, at all. And so the first time he came to our gym as a visitor, he made the comment that, he told my coach, I've been here for a week and nobody's taken me down. And, one of our best guys, shout out to Will was like, what are you talking about? I just took you down like 5 times. And then I was just like, did my eyes deceive me? Because I watched his face hit the mat 5 times. And another wrestler guy there was like, bro, I took you down a bunch of times. What are you talking about? And then so they were going back and forth and arguing. And I was just like, man, what's wrong with your ego, man? That you cannot accept your fate. You're great at wrestling. Okay, awesome. Good for you. You got a scholarship. Even better. But the thing is, you are now in a jiu-jitsu class, and we all have the right to have a seat. We don't have to stand with you. And so now you've got to come to the ground with us. And when you go to the ground with us, you're not that great, which, okay, fine. But don't act like you got this, man, because you don't. And so, case in point, the reason why I bring this up is, I don't like to talk about my partners too much, because it's a thing. People are trying things, mistakes happen. But something about this man, he just doesn't have the awareness. And so we were rolling, and obviously I know he knows how to wrestle. I got partnered up with him, not by choice, but, I'm trying to be a willing participant. I'm not trying to embarrass this guy and be like, no, I don't want to roll with you. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, I don't want to roll with you. You're crazy. You roll too crazy. You get all upset. You can't wrestle, and you almost want to hurt people, and I don't like that. So, but my coach was like, hey, you guys roll together. I'm like, ugh. Next time, I already have a game plan for that. We'll get into that in a little bit. So, we got paired up, and I was just like, great, this is going to be the worst thing that could happen, And so he starts to get into his wrestling stance, and I just sit down, and I'm like, okay, like, hey, it's cool, man. Be fucking cool. Don't be a spaz, man. Don't let your ego take control of this role. And we're rolling, and I guess he didn't take me very seriously. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know if it's because I'm chonky or I was a lesbian, but within a matter of, I believe it was less than 30 seconds, I had him in a leg lock, and, instead of doing the right thing to get out of it, but I know he doesn't know, because he was not really paying attention. He's very impressed with his wrestling. So instead of doing the right thing, he decides to take his other free leg and jam it into my ribs. Okay, so he's basically, I have his one leg, and he's like kneeing the shit out of my ribs. So I'm like, okay, well, buddy, I have your leg, and the further away your leg is from your body, you are not able to protect it. So I never let go of his leg. I had it, and I just looked at him. And then I wish I could have done this with my friend. I went slowly because I don't want to agitate this guy, okay? He's already huffing and puffing. I got an ego. I'm the best wrestler. Nobody took me down, even though people did. So we're already like, this dude's in a state of denial, okay? So I've got his leg, and I slowly start to turn his fucking toes to his butt. And if you have a foot, we know that your foot will only turn so far. And so if you are on your stomach, and I start turning your toes to your butt without your consent, my strength versus your foot, this isn't going to end well. And in the past, I have broken somebody's foot doing this. So I'm already very... So I start to place this man in a toehold, a nasty toehold, and his toes are facing his butt, okay? I'm like, okay, this is kind of bad. He's just looking at me like, oh, this doesn't hurt. This doesn't hurt. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let me apply more force. So I start to apply more force to where his toes are starting to be bending away from his butt. It's already been facing his butt for so many seconds, and now it's starting to go to the other side, as in his foot is going to be freaking backwards. It's going to be spun off like a top. So eventually he looks back at me, and I'm like, okay, man, like, I don't think you understand what's about to happen here, but your ego is about to have you with a broken foot right now. And he eventually taps. But what happens next is just the most preposterous part of the story. So, anytime I get somebody, to be fair, I will put myself in a more dangerous position to let somebody, work, okay? Because I've already subbed them. So I'm like, what's the point of me subbing you again? You're not learning anything. So let me help you learn something, okay? I'll allow you to go on to offense. So I show him my back, okay? What does this man do? He's about 2 feet away from me and jumps up like a flying squirrel and lands on my back and literally almost snaps my neck off. I'm just like, this motherfucker gave me whiplash, okay? So then I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you've pissed me off. And then I'm just like, nope, take it easy. Take it easy. This is what this guy wants. He wants you to go toe to toe. He wants to go toe to toe. He wants to go ego for ego. And, you show him you're not about that life. So I let him put me in a chokehold. And of course, because he thinks he got it, even though I gave it to him. I gave him my neck. He's doing it wrong, of course. And so because he's doing it wrong, I'm just laying there. And I hear him just squeezing with all his might. I'm just letting him use all of his energy, and I'm just laying there. And then I start holding up the peace sign. And then I'm like talking to people walking by. I'm like, hello, what's going on? And people are just like, what the fuck? Like, if you're choking somebody, they shouldn't be able to talk, I can't talk. Look, I'm choking myself. I can't talk. Okay, I was like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, WNBC. WNBC. I was like, bro, you ain't got shit. And I can hear him just using all of his might, I'm just like, oh, fuck this guy, man. It's just like, what is your problem, dude? The worst part about this guy is he brings his girlfriend, and this is kind of like this unspoken rule. You don't really bring your girl to the gym. Maybe once in a blue moon, but you don't have her come around all the time because it's going to be embarrassing to you when she sees you getting choked out. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look. So you don't want to bring your lady to the gym. This guy has his lady at the gym. And most particularly, he will have his girlfriend secretly record people that he's rolling with. Like he's trying to embarrass them. And I'm just like, bruh, this is not going to end well. And so his girlfriend will start recording. Like last week, he came in there and he thought he was going to leg lock our best leg locker in the gym. And so he starts to do a leg lock, and me and my other homie were like, oh, what? We were like, oh no. And I see his girlfriend's in the corner secretly recording with her camera, and he starts to do this half-ass, whack-ass leg lock, okay, on my teammate who is the best leg locker. Okay, this motherfucker was almost in the PGL, man. Professional Grapplers League, man. This guy's legit. You gonna try and leg lock the best dude in the gym with that shit? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. So right away, being the best leg locker that my teammate is, he just looked at that leg lock and just was like, huh? And then just grabbed the foot and did his own leg lock and tapped the guy out. And then all of a sudden his girlfriend put the phone down and I was like, bitch. Dog. Don't be this guy. You know, this is the type of individual he's got his girlfriend secretly recording, and then he gonna go home on Instagram and edit all of the parts of him getting tapped out, and he's only gonna put the parts where it makes him look good? What the fuck is that, man? What's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? It's not a good look for you. You think people are gonna believe you? Are you posting this for people who don't go to the gym and think that this is what you're doing? Because it's not. You're getting your ass whooped. You're getting your ass whooped. So I don't understand what that's all about. Every Tuesday I record. Tuesday and Saturday I record what we're doing at the gym, okay? But the rest of the days I don't, because I just feel like, man, out of respect to my teammates, maybe they don't want shit on the internet. I don't know what's going on. So once in a blue moon, record in there. You know what I'm saying? Because we're just having fun, right? But to have your girl in there daily in the corner, secretly recording people, you're not asking. It's like, come on, man. Like, even in the early days, it's cool to ask, hey, is everybody cool with a camera? You know what I'm saying? Because we had a guy who would just constantly record all of our gym, but then he wouldn't share the footage with people. So it was just like, ooh, this is bad. And then finally my coach was like, hey, dog, cut that shit out. Oh, man. So it's just like etiquette, be respectful. Don't get too crazy with the recording. Because I feel like if you're constantly recording yourself, which it's good because this is how you learn, but also I feel like it takes you away from what you're trying to do, because you're recording to be like, oh, look at me on the gram. Look at what I'm doing. Like, why are you really here? You just want clout? Is that what's going on? Like, you just want to be seen? Or are you trying to learn some real shit here? Because there's some real shit to be learned. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. I would prefer not to roll with this person ever again, because I think they have a lot of learning to do. And certainly if your ego is to a point where you're willing to hurt someone just so you can get likes on Instagram, I don't want anything to do with you. Honestly, like when I hurt my friend, I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave the gym. I wanted to drive away. Couldn't look at her. I felt so bad. I was just like, oh, God. And then right away someone's like, hey, you want to roll? I'm like, yeah, not really. I hurt my friend. I feel like shit. This man whiplashed my neck. This man, after he rolled, the next day after he rolled with me, he rolled with one of my homies who's been there for 4 months, but he's really good. He's gotten really good because everybody's been coaching him, because he don't have an ego. He listens to what people have to say. He listens and he works hard. So this wrestling rolls with my homie, and my homie's rolling him up, and he don't like it. So he attempted to spike my friend on the ground, which is a no-no. That's just like an unspoken rule. You don't spike people's heads in the fucking ground. You could paralyze somebody. Like, legitimately, have a fucking seat, dude. Seriously. If you are so frustrated that you're getting owned by someone who's been there for less than 6 months, and you're some collegiate wrestler who can't handle themselves, you need to leave the room. If you're thinking about spiking somebody, that's not cool. And he's done this before. And people have told him, hey, don't do that. That's just like a unspoken rule. We're here to have fun. Okay, we're challenging ourselves. It's competitive. Fine. But the second you want to hurt somebody, like cause permanent injury, you don't belong in the gym. I'm sorry. You don't get the right to do jiu-jitsu, because your intention is now changed from learning something to hurting somebody. That's not cool. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, this motherfucker. Oh, Lord, maybe we should roll together. Let the chonky lesbian beat you up again. Let's have at it. But I'm like, nope, just be chill. Just be chill. This guy is what ends up happening to people like this at the gym, what I find is all of this ego stuff and you're trying to hurt people. Eventually somebody better than you hurts you or embarrasses you so bad that you quit. So I think that's what's going to happen here. I don't foresee this young man sticking with this for too much longer. I would like him to stick with this because I feel like if he has an open mind, that this would be the attitude adjustment he needs. Stop trying to bring your girl in here and show off. Stop trying to record people, trying to embarrass them. Stop trying to hurt people. It's just, you're in there for the wrong reasons, man. But only he has to figure that out. So anyhow, then I got to roll with somebody else who was a very nice man, very polite. But for some reason, because we'd never rolled together, he assumed. Oh, shit. This man assumed something. I'm not sure what he assumed, but about a minute into our roll, he was like, damn, you're strong. I was like, yeah, sorry about that. And obviously it's a 5-minute roll. So, the first minute in, he discovered I wasn't as weak as he thought he was. I don't know if he thought I was a lady, a chonky lady, or lesbian. I don't know what he was thinking, but he was anticipating something else, and he got more than what he bargained for, as I like to call. And we was tussling, and so obviously because I have now displayed a little bit more strength than he intended to receive, he's starting to give me more of his strength, because this is what guys do. This is the math that a lot of men do. Oh, this is a strong lady. Oh, well, then I just need to apply more strength. Surely this will be enough. And then I go, okay, I'll give you more strength. And then they give me more strength. And then I go, okay, now it's time for technique. Do you have that? On top of all the strength you got, do you have technique? And most of the time, they don't, or at least this particular type of man. So, I try not to assume when I roll with people. Because, like I said, that's how you get fucked up. And this is exactly what happened to this young man. And I felt bad because, after he discovered my strength and he amplified his strength, he kind of, I don't know if he poked me in the eye or he hit something somewhere or he felt bad about it. So he kept saying sorry. And I was like, don't say sorry. It's cool. And then out of nowhere, I must have hit him with the craziest uppercut. And it wasn't to the face. It was to under his chin. And, for some reason, whenever I hit this move, it knocks their head back. And when it knocks their head back, they're easy to be choked. So after he had said sorry or he had poked me somewhere or something, I'm just moving. I'm staying relaxed. And I'm like, hey, man, it's cool. No big deal. No big deal. And then, at the last second, fire! It was like slow motion. I hit him with the nastiest uppercut under his chin, and not with my fist, I will use the pit of either my elbow or the forearm to politely elevate the chin so I can choke him. And that's what I did. I hit that so hard. I went, boom! And his head snapped back, and then I just went, sunk him up, choked his ass out. And he was like, wow, what just happened? He's like, how are you so strong? I was like, I don't know. I'm not that strong. And then, what did somebody say? Somebody walking by said, for a girl. And I said, yes, for a girl. I'm not going to say I'm stronger than a man because that's not true. Because, with all the years of me lifting weights, all it's going to take is any man with worth of salt to go in the gym for probably 6 months, and they'll be able to out bench press me, deadlift, squat, the whole nine, because that's just how men's bodies are made. Y'all meant to be strong. But I can say as a mannish lady that I have a little bit of strength, but I've got a little bit of technique as well. So I have to outsmart y'all. And I'm not very smart, but when it comes to jiu-jitsu, that's about all I've got. I don't have the strength, so I have to play the game. I have to use my mind to beat you, and that's my job. So, I'm not stronger than a man. I never claimed to be, but I will definitely try and use my combat mind to figure out, yes, men are strong, but you're not strong for that long. At some point, you're going to get tired. And when you get tired, that's when I get you. Oh, what's up? What's up? How come I should be a paid assassin, right? Just playing. I got the assassin. I got the ass and assassin. Oh, damn it. But it's just strategy. I've had guys go, how are you this strong? How did this happen? What's going on? I'm like, I'm not that strong. I'm telling you, I'm not that strong. I'm just trying to use my mind to figure out how to beat you. At some point, wherever you are strong, you are also weak, right? So that's just my reasoning. So current events, some current events. Oh boy. So I had to the owner stopped by my work this week, and I'm always puzzled because I feel like, some of the trouble and things that are happening, at my work. As an owner, I feel like, you should be in the know. You should know what's going on, or you should pay someone to tell you this is what's going on. This is what we need to do. But I also understand as an owner, he's got a larger scale of things and inner workings happening. But damn, I'm just like, I'm helping him, and I'm being polite, because I'm not an asshole. And, we had a little small talk. And the thing about small talk with people is sometimes you can tell when people don't want a small talk, but they just doing it because it's awkward. And I'm that kind of person. We don't got a small talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. I get you got stuff going on. But, we were small talking. And, I've talked to him before a couple times. And he's a good guy. But how in the world could he place these doo-doo-doo-doots in charge of his company? They running this place into the ground, man. I was helping him get his vitamins, and I'm like, damn, and I know who he is. And, my immediate supervisor on site was like, the owner is here. Please make sure you show him where his vitamins are. I'm like, okay. Cool. Make sure you assist him with the vitamins. I'm like, okay. I'm like, girl, why are you acting like I never worked here before and I never seen this man before? I've worked here since 2003, okay? It's 2026. I think I know who the owner is. Also, I think the owner knows more about vitamins than you and I because he has been with this company since day one, okay? And this company's nearly 50 fucking years old, older than both of us, okay? So I'm like, girl, all right, yeah, take care of it. So I'm just, I'm helping the owner, and while I'm helping the owner, I'm just thinking like, he's got the truck, he's got the house, he's got the land, he's got the houses, he's got the boats, the RVs, the who's who, the beach house, the whole nine, and I'm just like, all right, I get it. You're the owner of the company. You're taking the biggest risk of all, right? And he's like, yeah, I gotta talk to lawyers all the time, and I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I'm just like, man, so how does nobody that you pay to, let you know what's going on in the company, that your entire staff is pissed the fuck off? Hours are being cut. People are being treated like shit. Nobody's had a raise and couldn't tell you when. And everything's okay. It's just a regular casual day. You're shopping. And I'm just like, man, how do you Maybe the people he put in charge are lying to him and telling him everything's great, yeah, woohoo. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, everything sucks. I don't know how much shopping you're going to do in here for much longer because your entire staff don't want to be here. Prices are high. People are poor. You don't price match with Amazon. They want to know the bathroom code. What's with all the homeless people in the parking lot? Times are a-changing, man, and I just feel like if you can't evolve with the times, man, you're going to get crushed. And, the initial stages of my work is like, it's a novelty. It's a destination spot. People like to come there. They get the acai bowl. They get the organic fresh juice, the wheatgrass shots. We got your vegan food. We got your gluten-free food. And then we got vitamins. Y'all. All the vitamins you could ever need. But it also takes money. And if you live in California, gas is $5 a gallon, and I'm sure this bitch is going to head to over $7. I'm telling you, summer's coming, and they're going to rake us over the coals, man. We're going to get fucked, okay? I don't know how much longer people are going to be spending, you know what I'm saying? Like, when shit hits the fan, and you just need to eat, you don't give a shit if it's organic or not. If it's vegan or gluten-free, unless you have celiac disease, then you're deathly allergic. But other than that, shit gonna hit the fan soon if you live in California, Jack. Your little avocado on toast, bye-bye. Can I just get 2 eggs, please? Hold the toast. Or y'all are going to get your avocado on toast and ask for the seeds so you can grow your own tree, because it's getting wild out here, Jack. So I'm just like, man, as a business owner, I'm like, how do you not fucking care what's happening to people out here? I get that everybody's replaceable and it's just business, but I'm like, damn, somebody in that building's got to give a shit about someone, right? I mean, I told my supervisor today, I said, I don't know if you hear this. And I heard something terrible. Your name was not mentioned, but I just heard something terrible. Somebody saying that this isn't being done right. And my supervisor is responsible for this. And so when I heard this person say that this isn't being done right, I'm like, no. I told her and she was upset. And I said, look, I'm not telling you this to upset you. I'm telling you this, that you are doing a good job. You are doing something right. And the person who disagrees with you or is saying that you're doing it wrong doesn't want to accept the fact that maybe they are wrong or they haven't been taught right. So they're just assuming that what they're doing is the right way, when it is fucking wrong. And it's actually costing the company money, but they refuse to admit it. So I just said, hey, girl, look, I'm sorry what I said. It was something that was told to me. They didn't personally say your name, but you are the only other person who does this. And I just want to let you know that what this person is saying is not true. They don't want to admit that they're wrong. And they just want to point the blame on somebody else. When indeed, all they have to do is say, hey, you know what? I'm not really sure if this is right. Maybe I need to be retrained, because this other person is doing it this way, and that seems wrong to me. A little bit more communication. But I just said, hey, girl, you know what? I think you're doing a good job. And she was like, that hasn't been said enough around here. And I said, yeah. And I could tell. I said, you work hard. And she's like, I try not to take it personal. I said, you shouldn't. Do your best, and that's the best you can do, and then leave it at the door, girl, and get out of here. And I could see on her face, I was like, oh, she's doing a good job. A lot of people in that place, there's a lot of good people that work in that company, and they're doing a good job, and nobody telling them shit. Ain't nobody telling them shit other than, this is wrong. We're not getting the results that we want. What's happening? This is your fault. So it's like, So when I seen the owner, I was just like, dude, dude, can I borrow you for a minute? My dude. But I was just like, you know what? You're running a multi-million-dollar company. If you don't know what's going on, or maybe the people you're paying aren't telling you the truth, then that's on you. You're accepting what is being told to you or what you want to see. I can't make you see what everyone else sees. And that is dog shit. I can't make the owner see that the person he put in charge of buying supplements is going out there buying 30 fucking items every other week, and 90% of those 30 items are over $100. They have $100 price point. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. You gonna feed your family, or are you gonna buy these dumb vitamins for $100? One of the proteins this guy brought in the store, 12 grams of protein, free of beaver booty juice. Okay, last week the protein had the fucking the fucking beaver booty juice in it. This is vegan protein, so there's no animals in there. Okay, this protein with 12 grams of protein, which is like enough protein for a child. This protein, 12 grams a scoop, 15 servings for $80. Okay? For an adult, they would need to do 2 scoops. That would give you 24 grams of protein, which is like the equivalent of half a piece of chicken. Who the fuck's gonna buy this $80 protein, man? That shit's gonna last me a week. And I do 2 shakes a day. So that shit would last me 3 days for $80. Get the fuck out of here. Ask my boss, yo, what's the deal? Ask my supervisor, what's the deal? And he goes, we used to get whey protein for $1 something a pound. Now whey protein is $20 a pound. I'm like, oh. He goes, yeah, it's expensive everywhere. And then he's like, look, I'm going to open my phone and show you just how expensive it is. And as he's opening his phone and scrolling, I see a protein that we sell, and it's online for $25. We're selling it for $65. And I was like, I rest my case. Son of a bitch. He goes, see, it's expensive everywhere. And I was just like, this motherfucker drank the Koolaid. I just felt like it was like a zombie attack. Like it was like Shaun of the Dead. I was like, oh no, my friend, my one true confidant is a zombie. I have to get the fuck away from you. I was just like, damn, bro. You fell for it. You drank the Kool-Aid. If the price is $25 at Target for the exact same thing we're charging $60 fucking for, they're not gonna buy it at our store, man. Wake up. It's literally on your fucking phone. Just move your thumb. We're getting smoked out here, Jack. I really want to check out Nipsey Hussle's Marathon Burger. So Nipsey Hussle's brother, the late great Nipsey Hussle, his brother opened Marathon Burger in Long Beach. And what is troubling me is the first day that Marathon Burger opened, they had a freaking shootout. People got shot. People got stabbed. It was a nightmare. I'm just like, God, can we not have anything nice? What is wrong with people? We're supposed to be gathered here in the name of Nipsey Hussle, which, by the way, who was shot by his best friend. I wouldn't say best friend, but who was shot by his homie. His friend came out the jail, and Nipsey was like, hey, come to the store. Let me lace you up with some clothes. And this motherfucker shot him, okay? That same kind of energy came to Marathon Burger. The opening day, that same foolishness came to Marathon Burger. It's like, guys, let the people who don't want drama, who are emotionally evolved, to be like, hey, guess what? I don't like you. You don't like me. But let's have a burger in honor of Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be a blood. I'm a Crip. We don't get along. But let's have this burger in honor of Nipsey. No. y'all shooting, stabbing people. It's fucking ridiculous. So I was just like, man, I really want to go to Marathon Burger, but not right now. I don't want to be shot. I don't want to be stabbed. I just want to have a nice burger in peace. I've been watching the making of this Marathon Burger on YouTube or some random show where they was like building the restaurant and trying it out and stuff. They did like a test run in Hollywood. And I was like, man, I need to try this burger with them chilies on it. Oh, shit. God, dog. That shit look good, man. So I'm excited. I'm gonna let the chaos die down. Or, you know, if I go, I might just get a burger to go. We ain't staying there, Jack. I don't want to get shot. Speaking on some sus things, one of my private school in Brentwood, California, known as Harvard Westlake, which is the former employer of my cousin. My cousin was a teacher there for many years, and apparently this school is just like out of control, okay? When I explained to you, you know, because one of the kids lives near my cousin, and we went to their house on Halloween a couple of times, and Benicio del Toro was there at their house. The dad is like some kind of who's who agent to the stars. I mean, we're talking 20-foot floor-to-ceiling wine cellar. Fucking, you know, just rich Kobe Bryant jersey with the shoes hanging in the living room. Just ungodly rich, okay? This school, this particular private school, it costs $60,000 a year for your child to go there. And so I find it incredibly shocking. I mean, I know there's some ish going down because my cousin was working there and some shit went down and she's like, oh, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. Y'all crazy. This shit that went down at Harvard Westlake, to me, is just the most preposterous thing. So obviously this is a private school for very wealthy people. So you can gather that there ain't a whole lot of black people at this school. But the black people who are at this school can afford it. You know what I'm saying? So, $60,000 a year to go to this school. And these two water polo kids, one black, one white. The white kid was going to be an Olympic star. They was already talking about him being on the Olympic team, at a young age, being on the Olympic team because he's that damn good, right? And then there was the other black kid who was good. I don't know if he was good enough to be on the Olympic team, but my cousin knows him. I didn't ask a whole lot of details. But the reason why this fell into my lap was that Harvard Westlake is being sued because they knowingly knew that this white star student was reenacting slavery scenarios with this black student by whipping this student with a rope, fucking exercise bands, and telling him to get to work. And then I don't know what's worse, the racism, reenacting the slavery thing and whipping this young man. Then on top of all of this star Olympic athlete, air quotes, because he's done now. This kid is arras. His life is over, Jack. Okay. On top of the racial shit, he sexually assaulted this young black man. Okay. And when I say SA, I mean SA. This guy was getting objects and penetrating this young black man. They're in water polo practice. And he's trying to stick a finger up this man's anus, okay? Unwanted sexual advances, okay? This black kid was just trying to play water polo, and then here's this star athlete. This white boy just going in on him and then getting other students to sexually assault him and call him racist things. And then on top of that, got the coaching staff involved. Yes, you heard it right. Now, they weren't participating in the sexual assault, but they were certainly laughing about the racist stuff and the sexual assault. They were in full knowledge of this. He was under the age of 18, so teenager, not a child, but not an adult, being sexually assaulted at school. And so when the black student reported it to the coach, he laughed it off. He said he knew about it, blah, 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 blah. They reported it to the principal. They did nothing about it, okay? And so the law states, at least in California, if you are an adult and you hear or you are privy to information about sexual assault, especially with a minor, you have to report that shit to the police. But no, Harvard Westlake did their own internal investigation and deemed it not credible and suspended the black kid who was being sexually assaulted. They suspended him for 3 games. And they continued to let this other Olympic star athlete sexually assault him. This went on for 16 months. And I'm just like, what the hell? So then it got so bad, this kid was being, the black kid's being taunted at school so bad, he's got to eat his lunch in the school office. He can't even be around other students because they're taunting him, grabbing him. Other students were involved in sexually assaulting this man. So finally, this young man went to the police. So when they went to the police, obviously, you cannot have sexual things with someone who's not consenting, and especially not an adult. So this fool got arrested, but somehow was released because I saw this man's name. He's some kind of Dutch, comes from some rich Dutch family. Okay, all right, we get it. You got money, you got the power. So I guess he got house arrest or something, and then they transferred him to another school. And then once UCLA found out that this kid was going to be trying to come to UCLA on a full scholarship, they was like, nah, we're good here. Matter of fact, you can't come here. You are a rapist. Goodbye. But just now, so this occurred last year. But just now, it is now going public that the black family is civilly suing Harvard Westlake, the principal, the sporting director, and the water polo coach, and the student who was the main culprit. They're all being civilly sued, and I believe that they will win lots and lots of money because basically Harvard Westlake was aware that this kid was being sexually assaulted, and they did nothing about it. They tried to basically cover it up and not tell the police. And you know what? I'm like, we paying $60,000 a year for this school, and you're not going to tell the police when somebody's being sexually assaulted? What the fuck is going on here? What are you paying for? School is just a bunch of clout. They ain't protecting no kids here. They're letting kids getting sexually assaulted and then racially abused. Oh. So I hope to God that this black family wins the lawsuit, and Harvard Westlake will now be called whatever this family wants to call it, because they're going to win, okay? There's just too much evidence. Too many people knew, and they did nothing about it, which is just sad. What the fuck kind of world we living in where you're seeing some kid getting sexually assaulted and you're not going to say nothing? You're not going to call the police? What the fuck? It's crazy. And then the worst bit is they suspended the black kid. The person who's being sexually assaulted and racially abused, he got suspended. What? It's just unbelievable. People will do anything for the money, and I'm assuming they were protecting this Olympic athlete for the coins, which is sad. It's very sad because now, this poor child who is now 18, but at the time of these events, he was a minor, and he's got to live with this shit for the rest of his fucking life. This is crazy. Meanwhile, the guy who is the sexual assaulter is now at some other college in Newport Beach playing water polo like he's not a criminal, like nothing happened, trying to get on the Olympic team again. It's like, oh God, dog, yo, hey, Olympics, you got to kick this kid out. I mean, I'm sorry. You don't just get to sexually assault somebody and racially abuse somebody for a whole year, and then you get to go be on the Olympic team. I truly believe you lose your Olympic privileges at that point. I mean, come on, you're just not a good person. That's terrible. But man, I'm just like, what would possess this young man to even do this to another student, let alone a black student? I'm just like, dog, what? Why are you putting shit in this man's ass and he don't want that? If you gay, you gay. It's cool, man. Just go be gay with somebody who wants to be gay. That's kind of crazy. I'm trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. I'm just like, man, y'all are too young to be doing this shit. You're supposed to be going to school, getting good grades. You at the time before all this shit happened, y'all trying to be on the Olympics. You're good enough to make it to the Olympic team. You're fucking set, bro. Why the hell would you do this? This is crazy. Why would you do this to somebody, black or white? And it just so happens it's a black person, and then now you got to do the racist shit on top of it. It's like, oh my God. Like, I thought we discontinued your kind at the factory. Come on, man. It doesn't make sense to me. We have the internet. You know that black people are equal, right? What's going on? I don't understand how this still is happening. How are we in 2026 and there are still individuals out there who are like, yep, black person, get back to work, boy. Let me pretend to hit you with this rope and reenact slavery. Just like, how is this a good idea? How in your right mind? Like, were you not taught this? Or is this something you do at home? Do your parents, who are these rich Dutch people, do they reenact slavery things at home? I don't understand. Help me understand. I'm trying to figure this out. Anyhow, I'm just like, man, to be that young and to be that sinister, it just made me sad. I'm like, man, when I was his age, I was like, yo, I want to play sports. I want to play video games. I want to hang out with my friends. You know, and we did dumb stuff, but never like, yeah, let's rape each other. What? I have an idea. I'll reenact slavery with you. No. Wait, what? it's just, I know it's not funny, but it's just like, what? What the fuck, man? How? How did you get there? How could you ever think that this was a good idea to joke around or anything? It's just like, man, when I was a teenager, all I wanted to do was kiss girls, race cars, skateboard, snowboard, play video games, hang out with my friends, and eat weird food, fries with mayonnaise on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never once was like, yeah, I want my friend to beat me with a rope when we get some free time. Like, what the fuck? Oh, God. Oh, man. Please, maybe it's because we have such direct access to this information. It just almost seems like people are losing their damn minds. You know, I want to believe that the world is a good place, but I just see like, it's got to be the phones, right? It's got to be the phones. I think the phones is making everybody crazy. I don't know if it's a good thing to have access to all this information. I don't know if it's helping, because maybe my man's Googled the wrong thing. Is slavery cool? And he was like, whoa. Okay. Fuck. Can I say that he dropped the ball, or can I say that his parents dropped the ball? Because for his parents being that filthy rich and they paying that much for education, clearly he ain't getting one. So I don't know, man. I'm just hoping for the best, y'all, because I'm honestly losing faith in humanity. Oh shit. Do you know they arrested a 10-year-old boy who threatened to kill everybody in the school? Now, he's 10. I don't know if he has the knowledge or the wherewithal to understand, but we're just in this age now where like, whoa, he wants to kill everybody. Arrest him. It's like, oh, fuck, man. What is wrong with people, man? Come on. I don't know. Okay, so now some stupid stuff. Let's get to some fun, stupid, silly stuff, okay? My old girl crush, Demi Lovato. She was doing a podcast with Keke Palmer, whoever that is, some important African-American woman who is attractive. Keke Palmer, look her up. So Miss Lovato, Miss Demi Lovato, who, was beautiful, chonky, but now all of a sudden she got the old Ozempic and she got her man, even though she say she got them and she like ladies, but now she married to a man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyhow, none of my business. But I will say is my business is she over here on Keke Palmer podcast talking about how it was wrong that she was 18 years old dating Wilmer Valderrama at 30. And I'm like, is she questioning her judgment about it? And I was like, girl, it already happened, Ma. And you certainly didn't feel bad about it in the moment. Matter of fact, she said when she was 17 years old, she had the hots for this man who was 29 at the time. So she said she waited till her 18th birthday and then did all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, girl, what is this? Every time this woman opens her mouth, she backtracking like, yeah, when she was 18, yeah, I don't care if my man's 30. I don't care. Whatever, something's wrong with you. Age ain't a number. And here we are, now that she's in her 30s. Oh my God, that's creepy. Why would he do that? Wait a minute. You could have said no, girl. Nobody told you had to be with this man. I'm sure there were plenty of 18-year-old guys around you, but what happens? This happens. Whenever a young girl is with the older man, she like, I don't want to be with boys my age. They don't know what they want. They're poor. This is a rich man who's established security. Whoop-de fucking whoop. Y'all do this every time, okay? You see it from a mile away. So I was like, girl, just admit it, okay? You feel like you made a mistake. Or maybe your man's was like, hey, girl, why was you 18 dating that 30-year-old man? That's nasty. It's like, girl, it's 2026. That was like 2016. It happened. It's over. Move on. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I just think it's so weird that she's like shaming herself for a decision she made at 18. You didn't know better. You was dumb. Straight up. You was 18. You don't know what the fuck you want. You just knew you wanted some man who had money, who was mature, and was going to treat you better than some 18-year-old boy would. And let's be fair. These are just facts. Most 18-year-old boys don't want a serious relationship. She ended up being with this man for 10 years. Cool. Clearly, at that moment in her life, she wanted a serious relationship. But what I can tell you about ladies is there's this weird evolution that happens with them. And I can say this because I was a lesbian. From 18 to like 26, 27, two totally different people, totally different expectations, what you want, your relationship, the whole nine. When you're 18, it's got to be fast and fun. No responsibilities. I see y'all on the dating apps. I know what's going on. I don't want to be responsible. I'm poly. I'm ethically non-monogamous. Woo! Or I'm looking for a mature man. I had a 20-year-old hit me up on the dating app, said, buy me shoes. Buy me shoes. I'm like, bitch, I know you live at home with your mom and dad. Ask them. What the fuck? And it was like, no, hello, how are you? You're cute. Or blah, 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 blah. Just went right to the money. Buy me some shoes. So that 20-year-old is going to get some valuable lessons within the next 6 to 7 years. And, maybe she'll hit me up, maybe she won't. But I feel like, if we have the same conversation when she's 27, she's going to be like, do you have a house? Do you pay your bills? What's your credit score? If she's still asking for shoes at 27, get the fuck out of here. Bitch, you should have a job. Buy yourself some shoes, goddammit. What the fuck? Yo, it's just weird. I just feel like when you're that age, 18 to 26, you should just date the date and really don't have any expectations. Because you're not going to be the same person. I'm telling you, they all turn. The moment they turn 26, 27-ish, all of a sudden they are a completely different woman. They do not want the same things they wanted when they was 18. And then they certainly, when they turn 50 or 60, whoo, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Whew. They want your love if they have time. Oh my God, this is just crazy. I don't know, girl. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Demi's expecting. What's Wilmer Valderrama supposed to do? Sorry, I had the hots for you when you was 18. If I was 30 and an 18-year-old is asking me out, I'm probably going to say yes. This is crazy. Let's just see what happens. I have zero expectations because I know better. Okay? Y'all got what you got out of it. And then it was over. But to sit there and shame him oh, Wilmer Valderrama's a creep. I was 18. I'm like, girl, don't do this to yourself. You could have said no. You could have said no. At any point in the journey, you could have said no. Because if you said no and he's saying yes, that's SA, that's rape, that's sexual assault. Okay? And he would go to jail. But you didn't. You stayed with my mans for 10 years. Just saying. But to be fair, also Demi was doing a little bit of druggy drugs during them ages, so she might have not been in a sound mind. I'm just saying. The bitch a little crazy. And speaking of crazy ladies and dating apps, I'm just gonna end this mess. So obviously I have shared with you, I have a 20-year-old messaging me to buy her shoes. And then, of course, I see this 32-year-old woman. So here we are a little bit more established. This might be a little bit more my cup of tea because, they don't need anybody. They don't need anybody in their life. They have their life. They have what they want. They have the money, the cars, the clothes, all that. They would like a companion. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to complement their life. They don't need somebody. They would like somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's my kind of lady. But you got to listen to this story here. So, 32-year-old woman, lesbian, my cup of tea. Here we go. Hi, my name is... I probably shouldn't say her name. Excuse me. I don't want to get sued. Hi, my name is... The way to win me over is... and this is where it gets weird because, in the world, when you're typing something out, if you use all caps, that means you're yelling, right? So, in a response to the question, she said, the way to win me over is, I am rarely impressed, but if I am, it's by geniusness, ambition, and an undeniable edge. Entrepreneur, elevating back-end marketing for doctors, law firms, and real estate agents and brokerages. I was like, damn, girl, why are you yelling? Then she replies, unconsciousness is not innocence, it's a liability. And then, lowercase response, I go crazy for, hidden knowledge, conversations that bend reality, and a woman who knows foreplay starts long before touch. Make me laugh until my guard slips, then drop a truth that rewires my whole perspective. Why is this bitch yelling? There's like 3 paragraphs of this bitch yelling. So I'm like, oh shit. Well, damn, this lady's not the one. All right, well, nice chatting with you. And then here comes the last paragraph. My greatest strength, because these are prompt questions they ask you and you respond, right? So it said, my greatest strength. Dry humor, so sharp it could cut glass, slice through brick, and still open your Amazon packages. When I strike, it's with precision. In New York City, didn't just hone my sarcasm, it gave it my citizenship. I was like, what the fuck? Yo. I was like, why is this bitch yelling? What the fuck is this? And then this is like, she has to know what she's doing because, as I can tell as I'm reading this to you, she will put a couple of sentences in regular speak, in regular letters. But then all of a sudden, all caps comes through. I'm just like, what the fuck? This gets me. Dry humor, so sharp it could cut glass, slice through brick, and still open your Amazon packages. When I strike, it's with precision. New York City didn't just hone my sarcasm, it gave it citizenship. Listen, I know lesbians will be crazy. I know we're crazy. But damn, you yelling in a text message and I don't know you, man. I'm out. I'm like, damn, I can't. This is too much. I'm like, damn, dodge the bullet. Crazy as a lesbian. Oh my God. Unbelievable. All right, let me see if there's some UFC picks. Oh, don't get me started with this UFC, okay? People is freaking the fuck out with the UFC and the fights this weekend and how Charles Oliveira just skated through Max Holloway. It was very upsetting because I wanted them to strike and Max wanted to strike and Charles didn't. Charles, had to use his old black belt in jiu-jitsu or whatever to ruin the party. Of course, the BMF belt was a bit of a bust. He just was on the ground doing jiu-jitsu with Max, and Max doesn't have very good jiu-jitsu, so it was just 25 minutes of absolute dog shit. All right, what we got going on here? I've got Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. I'm thinking Piera Rodriguez. Elijah Smith, 9-1 versus Yu Su Yong. 16-3, I'm taking Yu Su Yong. Next, we've got Beatrice Mesquita, 6-0 versus Montserrat Rendon, 7-1. Man. Ooh. 2 hotties with the bodies. Fuck, who'd I pick? I gotta peek. Let me just see. Let me see their face. Damn it. I'm gonna take Montserrat. That sounds like a gangster name. Gangster chola over here. Next, Luan Lacerda, 13-3 versus Hector Sosa, 14-1. I'm taking... Ooh, fuck. That's a hard one, too. 14-1, 13-3. I'm taking Hector Sosa. Okay. Oh, fuck. What kind of name is this? Bulaji? Okay. 10-3 versus Manuel Sousa, 13-1. I'm gonna take Bulaji. He looks scary as fuck. Holy shit. Chris Curtis, 32-12. Wow, this man's been fighting a long ass time. Versus Miktik Orbal. He's Mongolian. I'm gonna take Miktik Orbal, 15-2. Brad Tavares, 21-12 versus Eric Yaboy Anders, 17-9. I'm taking Brad Tavares. Next, Charles Johnson, 18-8 versus Bruno Silva, 15-5. 15-7. I'm taking Charles Johnson. He's got a goofy haircut. You got to pay for that goofy haircut. Next, Victor Patino versus Steven Asplund. I'm taking Victor Patino. Marwan Raki, 7-0 versus Harry Hardwick. I'm taking Marwan Raki. Andre File, 25-12 versus Jose Delgado, 10-2. Fuck. Oh, man. I'm taking Jose Delgado. Ion Kutaloba, 19-11 versus Umar Sy. I'm taking Umar Sy. And for the co-main event, Amanda Lemos, 15-5 versus 16-8, Jillian Robertson. Jillian Robertson's jiu-jitsu is stupid good, but Amanda Lemos' striking is insane. So I'm just going to take Jillian because she's just been on a roll. And the main event, terrible fight. Josh Emmett, 19-6 versus Kevin Vallejos, 17-1. I'm taking Kevin Vallejos. Those are my motherfucking UFC picks. Bet with me, bet against me. Who cares? Let's watch some fucking fights. Yeah! All right, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in to my complete and utter garbage. But if you feel inspired, please like, share, and subscribe to Rambo Per Radio. RamboPerRadio.com. If you feel the need to support the show with some merch, purchase some merch. Or if you can't afford to purchase some merch, that's cool. No judgment here. Please go to my YouTube page at GenTTV. Like, share, and subscribe to that as well. Okay? Folks, that's going to do it for me. I will talk to you all next week. But until next time, this is Rambo Per Radio. I'm out. Peace.